Hi, everybody. Welcome to our virtual Ladies Who Launch. It's our Cinco de Mayo version. I'm Tammy Minershagen, the Executive Director of Frisco Arts, and I'm so happy to be back in my office. I don't have a home office, so it's been really interesting doing these shows, from my room. But I wanted to show, normally we have everyone gathered together for lunch and wonderful centerpieces and decor by Lillian Shavira of Join the Break Room. Well, she stopped by this morning to show me what we would have had on our tables. So look at this. Look at how cute. A masked Frida Kahlo. And it says, at the end of the day, we can endure much more than we think we can, Frida Kahlo. It's so perfect. So anyway, this brought a whole bunch of joy and a smile to my face. Thank you, Lillian. And we can just all, enjoy it virtually from our computers. So if this is your first time at Ladies Who Launch, basically it is a monthly luncheon that we host, and we're in person. And we have a panel of two women, one who is full-time in business and one who's full-time in the arts. And we discuss the intersection of both of those sectors. So today, that's what we're doing. We're just doing it online. And we're excited to have Crystal Howard with us. She is the DFW Regional publisher of Community Impact Newspaper, and Dipali Parikh, who is an artist and the founder and owner of Make Expression. So we'll be talking to them about their inspiration and what they've been doing and their stories. It's going to be awesome. So the format today is that I'll share some announcements, and we'll hear from our presenting sponsor and her takeaways from last month, and then we'll get to our panel. Since this is Facebook Live, you can write in your comments and questions, and we'll try to get to those. And we'll record the whole show, and it'll go to our YouTube channel afterwards. So we normally have a rule that there are no boys allowed at Ladies Who Launch, but we do allow one person. His name is Anthony Focus, is our live stream producer, stream4.us, US. And so if you're interested in live streaming an event or something for your organization, definitely contact Anthony. He is the one you want to work with. So let's go to some announcements. Anthony, did you want to poke your head in and say hi? He's like, there he is, the one man that we allowed in today. Well, we have actually the whole time. So, all right, I'm going to give some announcements of what's going on. So today, actually at 4 o'clock, and this is part of our advocacy as Frisco Arts, one of the things that we do is manage the art grant program for the city of Frisco. And we completed the process, but because of COVID-19, as you know, cities are really having a hard time with all of their budgets, and things are in jeopardy of being cut, and arts funding is one of those items that is up for discussion today. So at 4 o'clock, there is a City Council Budget Committee meeting that will be talking about this as well as other items. So I'll be there speaking to advocate for the arts grant budget to actually just be reduced but not completely eliminated, and I'll make sure to post my comments and my statement on Facebook. If anyone feels comfortable coming, it is an in-person meeting, and then at City Council as well at 6:30. You can come socially distancing friendly, but just wanted to make sure you were all aware of that. And because we have 25 potential arts grant recipients, we wanted you to meet them as well and their leadership and learn about the organization, what they do. As the arts industry, first of all, the arts are what sustained us during quarantine. We could not have survived, any of us, without music and the books that we were reading and the movies. So the arts are so important, and they're going to be a big part of our economic recovery, all forms of recovery, honestly. So we invite you to meet our 25 potential arts grant recipients at a virtual meet and greet marathon. This is going to be next Tuesday at noon. And for a full list of the 25 potential grantees, you can go to our website at friscoarts.org and also watch a whiteboard video that was actually created by my daughters about how the grant program works. Today is also Giving Tuesday across North Texas, and throughout actually the whole nation. So if you are compelled to support the arts today, today is the perfect day to do it. We have so many things we've done in the last 6 weeks. You know, COVID-19 came and canceled a bunch of our events, including Ladies Who Launch. But it did not stop us from advocating and supporting our local businesses that are in the arts, our students, our professionals, our arts enthusiasts. So, you know, you can't stop passion, and you definitely can't stop the arts. So we invite you to support the arts community, support Frisco Arts, and you can go to friscoarts.org to do that. Well, our next Smart Men is going to be such an exciting event. We are having Robert M. Edsall as our guest. He is a #1 New York Times bestselling author of many books, including The Monuments Men. We're so honored to have him as our guest. He's also the founder of the Monuments Men Foundation for the Preservation of Art. And that's the book that was the basis of the movie, The Monuments Men, directed by George Clooney, whom he worked closely with for the film, and starring Matt Damon, Bill Murray, Cate Blanchett, and more. So we'll be talking to him about his lifelong passion for rescuing lost art, his books, travels, inspiration. And this is right after Memorial Day on Tuesday, May 26th, Facebook Live at noon. And then lastly, we have our quarantine that we're still working on with our students. We're still accepting submissions for student artwork, poetry, photography, whatever you've been doing during this time to creatively document your quarantine. So students in 6th grade through college can submit, and we're hoping to create actually a print version of this, assuming we can get out and do that. But you can go to friscoarts.org and click under register to find that and be part of this cool collection called the Quarantine. So that's it for the announcements. I wanted to bring up our presenting sponsor. Her name is Lori McCagran. She's the producing area manager of Union Home Mortgage. And it's because of her that we're able to do what we do through Ladies Who Launch. She's been our biggest fan. Thank you, Lori, so much for being here and for supporting us.
Of course. Well, I just get so much out of this personally. It's just so wonderful to connect with other women and hear, you know, their inspirational stories and quotes. And so, of course, you know, I always keep a little running list of wisdom from Ladies Who Launch as, you know, I hear quotes or things that from our panelists that really, you know, hit home. So my list actually only have 2 sound bites, I guess, but one, the third one is really more of an observation from our artists last week. Both ladies were artists, and then Chelsea started a business, but I'm so scared I'm going to mispronounce her name. Was it Kalika?
Yes,
Yes. So Kalika made a comment, though, that I wrote down because I just found it was really interesting. She said that she had a hard time calling herself an artist since she was self-taught. And so I just thought that's a good one to kind of chew on, because how many of us maybe do something where it was just a natural gift or talent and we went after it, but it wasn't something that we went to school for. It maybe wasn't something that, you know, was our profession, but that is part of our identity. And, you know, she had a journey of getting over rejecting that part of herself. And she's a fantastic artist, even though nobody had to teach her how to do that. So just an encouragement to all of you who may struggle with some self-doubt in a specific area, because maybe it's just something you were born with. You didn't have to go to school for. Embrace it and accept that identity. And then the other 2 quotes, I loved when Chelsea said, if it's a crazy idea, you should go for it because it just might work.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
That was definitely a good cheerleader moment. And then I loved Kalika's quote where she's, you know, trust yourself, quiet your soul, listen to your inner voice, and never stop learning. So that should be put on one of those beautiful pictures and spread all around Facebook, in my opinion. So
definitely, definitely.
You know, I have to give a little plug for Union Home Mortgage. So we do home loans for people who pay cash for them. And of course, we're also helping clients with refinances. And I was asking my husband, what should I say today? I'm just kind of drawing a blank. And he said, well, why don't you talk about why you're so passionate about doing home loans? And, people may not know, but in America, our number one wealth building tool is homeownership. It's how most of us have created legacies for our families. And it certainly was very life-changing for my family when my mom, who was single at the time, bought her first home when I was 13. So kind of the rest is history, as they say. And that's part of kind of what brings my passion to the business. And so for anyone listening, if you've got a home or that you'd like to refinance, or if you want to talk about being a homeowner, give me a call. We always look for the way to make it happen instead of just saying, oh, nope, that's not going to work right now. We'll create a path for you. We're problem solvers.
Yay. Awesome. Well, thank you for that. And thank you also for always sharing insights from your takeaways from the last meeting. Like I said, I am expecting that book, Lori, of all of your thoughts, all in one place. And on our Facebook feed, we've got people saying, hey, Lori, it's Vicki, Chen, and Robin, and Kathy, and Ivy, Kim. Hi to everybody. And thanks for joining us for Cinco de Mayo. And thank you, Lori. I know you've got to run back to do some things, but appreciate you and your support. All right, so, well, I'm going to now introduce our guests today. Crystal Howard, she is the publisher for the DFW regions, of the Community Impact newspaper. With 33 editions across the country, Community Impact delivers more than 2.7 million papers full of hyperlocal news to mailboxes each month, and has made the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies every year since 2009. CI was also named Small Business of the Year by the Frisco Chamber of Commerce in 2014 and Employer of the Year in 2018. Crystal serves as the 2020 chair of the Frisco Chamber of Commerce board and also serves on the Visit Frisco and Frisco Education Foundation boards. She and her husband Michael are proud parents of 5-year-old son Bennett, 9-year-old daughter Emma, and scruffy pup Sam Elliott. Dipali Parikh is our next guest, and she is an artist, founder, and owner of Make Expression, but she also describes herself as a mom, explorer, which I love. I want to talk about that. Teacher, citizen, and entrepreneur. She has always had a love of the arts since a child. Before COVID-19, her business Make Expression had walk-ins, workshops, skill building, art classes for both adults and kids, camps, parties, scouts, and more. The classes included pottery painting, canvas, mosaic, glass fusing, and they are now offering to-go options that we are going to hear more about today. So welcome, ladies. Let's see if we can pull you up. Hi. We're all in spring colors. I love it.
Well, Tammy, we were inspired by you because you've been so bright every time we come on to do a sound check. So thank you for being the inspiration.
Absolutely. I just, this is the color that I cannot stop wearing. Hi, Dipali. So we got some fans joining us. Good. On Facebook right now, we've got Anna Irwin. Yay, Crystal. Vicki says, I know her. Terry says hi. So I'm going to start with some questions, and let's first start with Crystal. Tell us a little bit about where you are originally from and how you ended up coming out to Frisco.
Yeah, thank you, Tammy. So I'm originally from Carrollton, born and raised. Went to R.L. Turner High School. If anybody knows of it, go Lions. And, all I knew of Frisco growing up was that it felt far away. And I remember my first friend bought a house out there. And this was during college, and we went to a housewarming party. And this was before Stonebriar Mall and all of that. And you didn't have GPS on your phone at the time. So he wrote down instructions. And I remember thinking, wow, why did he buy a house all the way up? The joke's on me, because I sure do wish I had bought that house way back then.
Right.
And Funny enough, I think we probably live in the same neighborhood where that house was. But fast forward, I went to Texas Tech for college and stayed out in Lubbock, worked there a while, and then went to Oklahoma City, worked in TV news there, and we got to come back to Frisco. A lot of our friends were moving back here, and of course, our parents were still here, and we were eager to get back to the Metroplex. And then it was Community Impact that gave me the opportunity to move back to Frisco, and we just fell so in love with it.
Wonderful. Well, I can't wait to talk more about community impact and what you've been doing there. Dipali, how about you? How did you end up coming to Frisco?
Okay, so I was born and brought up in India, and then after marriage, I came to Dallas area, and it's been 25 years. Wow, time flies. And
Wow.
yeah, so I came to Dallas, I started doing computer programming, and then I worked in some accounting firm over here. And then I went to my brother-in-law. They were looking house in Frisco, so we were just tag along with them, and we found a beautiful house near Legacy and Lebanon in Frisco. So we are here from past 18 years now. So when we
Wow.
moved in, we have to go for grocery all the way to Prescott. There was nothing here. So I saw
Yeah.
everything growing up over here. So that's how I moved to Frisco.
Well, it's amazing. So we all have seen a lot of change in our city because we've been here. I mean, I think in 2 years it's changed, but like after 15 for sure. And I've been here about 16 years from Chicago. So every time my family comes in and visits at Christmas, they're like, everything's changed. There's another whole new section of the city. So, but let's go back in time a bit because I know that, we go through all kinds of journeys in our life, but we typically will end up doing what we love and what we're passionate about. So Crystal, tell us in your childhood, a memory or an experience that got you interested in, telling stories or journalism or writing.
Yeah, that's a great question. And, I thought about it after you sent over what you wanted to discuss today. And it's funny because I think I have to answer it very honestly in that I did not know what I wanted to do, know what I wanted to be for the longest time. I think, you're kind of a natural born storyteller. So maybe there was some of that. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I think that's
I love
first grade for sure.
So cute.
I was not one that had a whole lot of direction early on. And when I went to college, even, it was very hard for me to select a major. But while I was in college, 9/11 happened, and I became captivated by the coverage of that. And I think that was a moment for me when I realized I want to be part of, history like that and of helping tell the stories that are significant in historical moments. So that's kind of what led me to journalism. And I switched majors, got an internship, and went that direction.
Wow. Yeah. No, I think everyone has a story about they know exactly where they were and what they were doing when that hit. So, Dipali, how about you in your love of the arts? Do you recall a time in your childhood where it kind of pulled you in or you felt the power of the arts?
Yeah, definitely. So when I was growing up, my mom used to do a lot of she was knitting and sewing, and she would make sweaters for everyone. And she made a hat for me. I still have it with me. And
Oh,
then
wow.
she used to do, yeah, so she used to do when we have an occasion, she would go outside the house and we all make like a design. So she would do with the color powder that design. So I was helping her with that. And I always took part in dancing and singing and all kinds of different creative activities. And so I took a degree in business just to take a degree, but my passion was really art. So I did a fashion designing after I finished my college. And when I was in college, I learned a lot of embroidery, hand embroidery kind of stuff from my neighbor. So I used to take a lot of do a lot of commission work as an embroidery embroidery dresses and all that stuff. So you can say I have a business bug in me from
Yeah,
childhood.
definitely.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So that's
So, Polly,
how I always loved art.
yes. Well, I wanted to explore that just a little bit. So you started out in business, and then it was fashion design that you wanted to get your
Hmm.
degree in. So, fashion, a lot of people will say that it is, it's frivolous or it's not important, but it is, I mean, it's a true industry. And I think that the clothes that we wear or decide on, are a statement. It's like typically the first thing that you're going to see on someone. And so it
Hmm.
actually has a lot of power, and it's communication power, and it is a form of storytelling as well. So that's my impression of the importance of
Hmm.
fashion. But what about you? What really drew you to fashion and fashion design?
So when I was little, when we have a festival, we wear like nice designer clothes, and I always like to wear designer clothes and fancy clothes and colorful clothes. So the picture you are seeing right now, I did it for my fashion designing final project, and it went into gallery. I did the hand embroidery on the side, and I designed the whole thing, and I painted the
Wow.
scarf. So yeah, so I always love doing something with fashion, and I always love buying like a designer clothes, and so that's what drove me to the fashion designing.
That's so cool. Well, we'll talk more about your journey then going into make expression in a bit. But Crystal, we'll turn back to you. So before you came to Community Impact, you were actually a news reporter, which I can totally see. Good Morning Lubbock, right? There you are.
Oh
I
man.
mean, so cool. I love it. And you were a reporter, a managing editor, twice Emmy nominated with multiple awards from the Texas Associated Press broadcasters. So tell us about that period of your life and what you enjoyed, and maybe one of your favorite memories from being a news reporter.
Yeah, it is such a great career, and I really think it prepares you for anything because you have to be ready.
Mm.
I think, oh gosh. Okay, so this that you're seeing on the screen is probably one of my most dreadful moments on TV, and it was actually when I was a reporter in Oklahoma. And I know it's grainy, but if those of you out there who are watching Tiger King, that is the Tiger King. That's Joe Exotic right
What?
there.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness. That's him.
But let me tell you, this is like one of my least proud moments. I feel like maybe I did some substantive work, and this was not it at all. But that one of the things, you get sent on assignments sometimes, and you strive as a reporter to come up with really good story ideas so that you don't get sent on assignment. But at that time, I was working
Sure.
on a morning show in Oklahoma City, and we had this story pitch from Joe Schreibvogel about how they needed to raise more money for the zoo. And so I got sent out there, and it was a morning show where we had to do a live shot I was basically on the air about every 30 minutes, and it had to be different, and we would move to different locations. Well, when we got there, it was exactly what you see on the reality show. And in this particular shot, we were in his TV studio, and he wanted to show me these snakes and these giant bugs. And I'm terrified of snakes. And so we discussed beforehand, and he's like, you can hold it. And I said, no, I'd really rather not. And he's teasing me about the Britney Spears shot with the snake around her neck. And anyway, so we had this whole
Oh.
conversation, and he was just going to get close to me with it. Well, he went for it and put it on my neck, and I froze and actually broke down in tears. Like
Oh
it
my
is,
gosh.
it's a horrible moment. But anyway, but
Oh, that is crazy.
it was crazy, but that is the fun of TV news. You can be, in any given situation at any given moment, and you have to be able to act quickly and on your toes. It could be very serious situations. There are difficult stories to tell, but you get to meet incredible people. And so it was a fantastic experience. And I think it really prepared me for doing what I do now and a lot of other things.
Yes, yes. Well, I found this one too. It's like your reunion of your team there from Good Day
Yes.
Lubbock.
So that was my first job in Lubbock, and my news director mentor there was fantastic. I think we all have somebody in our life who, really shapes you as a professional, and he was that for me. And he retired recently, so they had me back on air. This was, a few months ago. Had me back
Mm.
on air for a surprise send off for him, so we got to reunite as an
Oh,
anchor team, which was fun.
yes. Oh my gosh. Well, I can see now why like you're asked to MC everything because you're so cool and collected on stage, and it comes from all that training, I'm sure.
Well, thank
So
you.
let's, of course, let's go back to Polly. What's impressive to me about your bio is like the breadth of everything you've done because it's all like left and right brain. I mean, you're business and then you were in accounting and then you were in tech and then fashion design and then art. So tell us how it ended up that you became, and also a teacher, you were a Montessori teacher, that you decided to launch your business, Make Expression.
So, as you know, I always loved art, and when I was growing up, like my parents were, you have to take a degree. You cannot just go into art. So, for just to take a sake of taking degree, I took a business degree. But I really loved art from bottom of my so what I then I took fashion designing, and they supported me that okay, you took your degree, so you can do fashion designing now. So then I did fashion designing, and when when I came here, I did some accounting and then took some Montessori. I teached in Montessori, but I was really doing a lot of art stuff with kids. So then my husband and I and my family, my kids, we all were talking about it that uh, what should we do? Like, I have a passion of art. So they all said you should follow your passion and pursue
Mm-hmm.
in your passion. So then we started thinking about it, and then we found an opportunity on Legacy and Lebanon. We found a beautiful place, and we started a business. And Make Expression is not just the name; it's kind of like invitation to for everyone that you come in and you express yourself. Everyone has some kind of creativity in them. They just need to
Mm-hmm.
come out and express, and they can make like beautiful things. So that's how we came
Yes.
up with Make Expression, that you come and you express, and we have lots of different creative stuff where you, even if you don't have any artistic skill, you can come in and make candle. You can do glass fusing, you can do mosaic. You don't have to paint beautiful canvas. Canvas is definitely beautiful. You can paint, and we have a lot of customer who comes in and they express themselves, and even they have never touched brush in their hand, so they paint it first time and they are so impressed with that stuff that wow, I can do
Yes.
this. So that makes me really
Exactly.
happy, and this is more
Mm-hmm.
for community, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something for community and want to bring people together and have fun. So that's how we
Yes.
came up with Make Expression.
I love that that you said, everyone has some type of creativity and you don't have to feel pressure when you come in, that you can just come and
Mhm.
try something, but that you should definitely try to express yourself. So I love that statement. Your business actually ended up moving out of your first location, and then somewhere else. You said now it's closer to the physical location is Stonebriar. Is that right?
Right, that's correct.
Okay, so what if people were to try to find it right now? What's the address? Just want to put it out there for people.
So we are on northwest corner of Gaylord and Preston. The address is 2995 Preston Road, Suite 1535, Frisco, Texas 75034. So we are
Okay,
right by the
perfect.
Stonebriar Mall in Burlington Shopping Center, next to Vitamin Shop.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll talk a little more about that too in a bit. But Crystal, we'll come back to you to a lot of people. they don't realize that Community Impact Newspaper, which comes in our mailboxes, and I love the infographics too. Let me just tell you, every time I see, how you're able to break things down visually, it's incredible. So, but we wouldn't have that without you bringing it and your team. So, tell us a little bit about, what made you want to start Community Impact right here, and then what do you love about your team and Community Impact mission?
Yeah, thank you. Well, I don't know that I can take a whole lot of credit. We really do have the absolute best team in existence. I've never worked with such incredible, inspiring people, but that always comes from the top. And our CEO and founder, his name is John Garrett. He started it with his wife out of the game room of their house. And I think that their vision they had day one, it still drives us today. And he was very mission focused in creating it, and the idea that we really wanted to be a light in the news industry and serve in our communities. So instead of being sort of a separate entity reporting on the community, we encourage our teams to get involved and really be part of the community. So this picture here is from our launch of the Frisco paper. And I think we all just look like such babies. It's amazing what time will do to you. But anyway, so, he had already sort of narrowed in on Frisco as a good location to potentially launch a new paper. And so the rest is kind of history. And it's been an incredible journey because getting to be part of this company, I think not only does it help us tie into the communities we serve better, but we're such a family, which I think is so cliche these days. And I understand that, but I've just never worked with people who drive you on a daily basis to do better and be better. And we're constantly raising the bar with each other. And I think in whatever industry you're in, that is something to strive for, to be around people that push you to be better. And that's why I just love this crew. And you can see we're very collaborative. This is one of the hardest things coming out of, this whole social distancing thing, is that we really work so closely together, and we have such a collaborative spirit in everything we do that it will be hard, as we look at bringing everybody back to the office. We can't bring them back and sit there like that, at least not right away. Right. So that's been challenging. We've been on lots of Zoom calls together, but it's just not the same. So we're working toward what that will look like, but I just really can't say enough. We have the absolute best team.
I've been honored to know a lot of the folks on your team, and they really are such wonderful people. It's a great place to work for and to work with. We have Lori McCagran says, I'm a big fan of the infographics as well. Kathy Selvage, love Community Impact Newspaper and great team. So yeah, it's sometimes you don't know that the impact is happening because you put it in print and then it goes out, and then not everybody writes back, and says, thank you for this and thank you for that. But it really does make a huge difference. Well, yeah, go ahead.
A funny story on that I think you'll appreciate, because I was so used to, and I think a lot of business owners can understand this too, is that sometimes the loudest voice is the angry, and a custom in TV news that you would only get emails when people were mad about something you said, or, oh, your hair looks terrible today. They would send these emails. They were so hurtful. And so every time I would start a new position, I would create a folder in my inbox for nice notes. And it was just a habitual thing, because when you got a good one, I would save them in a spot so that you could go visit that on a tough day. And it was so shocking to me, because when I started at Community Impact, I did that out of habit. And I quickly realized we got lots of very nice emails from readers. And so we've been very fortunate. People are very kind to us and send us emails all the time to say thank you, or to comment on a story or on the infographics. And it really is, it's such a labor of love for us that those words and those emails just mean the world. So I still keep them.
Yes. No, that's so great. I'm so glad. And I mean, everyone needs encouragement. So I'm glad that you're receiving that. And it's a good, reminder for us to do that for other people as well. So, Dipali, I know that with COVID-19, you've had to really pivot and change. Does anyone else, whenever you use the word pivot, think about Ross and Friends?
Every time.
Every time, like it comes out of my mouth and the image is right there. Anyway, so we've all had to innovate during COVID-19. But for a small business that's got a tight space, can you tell us about some of your initiatives and what you've been doing to keep your business going and allow people to keep expressing themselves but remotely?
Yeah, so we are doing COVID-19. It affected everyone, and especially for small businesses, we all are struggling with financial situation and all kinds of stuff. So, but you have to be innovative, and you have to figure out something to do to bring people together. So, what I'm doing right now is I'm doing a free online class on Facebook Live. So I teach
Mm.
every week, and I get a lot of likes and uh, emojis and hearts and all kinds of stuff, and that makes me so happy. And once I finish the class, they put their own picture, what they painted in the class, and they are so awesome, and that is so rewarding for me. So I'm doing that. I'm also doing uh, to go kit, so people can take the pottery or canvas or mosaic, and they can take it home and paint with their family, and that way they don't have to come out, they can be safe at their home, and they can enjoy painting and be creative. Also, we are now open for reservation in studio. So you can come in, and we have a huge party room. We have two party rooms, and we have a big studio space. So we can still keep our distance, and we can have them sit in party room, and some sit in another party room. So they can still come out of the house and do something in studio. So you can reserve your spot, and you can come into the studio and be creative too. So we
Hmm.
have lots of option right now for to go and come into the studio, and we do online classes. We do our virtual parties now. So in virtual parties, and that is a blast. I did so many parties, and people are having so much fun. They are in their own homes, and we do virtual parties where I teach them step by step painting, and they all paint together. If I do adult party, they have their wine glasses and drinks, and they all talk together, and it is so much fun. So that is what
That's
we are doing right now to keep us going.
Yes, and tell us a little bit about your senior canvases too, because I know you got a senior graduating this year, and
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
some of
So
those
I'm
cool
paying.
canvases.
Right. So they are the custom canvases. So you can send me your college name or school name, and we have different designs you can choose from. So I do it all for you, and you that is a special gift for all the seniors who are graduating this year. So that is a memorable gift. So if you have any seniors, do contact me.
Wonderful. Well, and I love the toilet paper on the O's.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
We were all
never
struggling in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, that was actually one thing. It was so funny. My daughter Chloe was like, "We have to go get toilet paper." I'm like, "We're gonna be fine." And then, of course, family with four women, we did run out. So she's like, "I told you." So we had to make do with other types of things. Anyway, so Crystal, let's come back to you on the the premise behind news is to make sure you get a story out, and there's information, but then there's also information that creates change or changes perceptions, and really does make an impact. I mean, I love that your newspaper is called Community Impact. So can you tell us one of your biggest success stories of community impact, how it did make an impact, and what were the circumstances?
Yeah, it's so hard to identify just one, but I would say generally my two favorite kind of things that we do. We take really complicated topics and we try to break them down where everybody can understand it. And we don't tell people how to think about it. We don't give them the opinions. We just give them the data. And so, an
Hmm.
example of that relative to Frisco was during all of the school funding discussions. and the TRE, that's a really complicated subject to tackle. And you've got M&O funding, and it is just so complicated. It's also just a passionate topic for people. They have very strong opinions. And so we were able to take that concept and break it down in infographic form in a way that hopefully people were able to really understand it better and have a better baseline knowledge before they went and voted on that issue. And then one of the other areas that I feel like we make a difference, and we get to hear from people on how we make a difference, and this is really what drives us to keep doing what we're doing even on the hardest days, is that we tell the stories of local businesses. And I think that that's so important as a community. Our local businesses really drive that sense of community. They're the ones giving back and, supporting Frisco Arts and the other great nonprofits in our community. And so part of our mission is telling the stories of those business owners and connecting our readers with those local businesses. And we've really been able to do that. This COVID time has been challenging for us because things are changing so quickly. It can be hard to dig in at a deep data level, but we've been able to use our platform to really connect with the businesses and tell their story of how they're innovating and how they are adapting during this time, which, we've heard from them what a difference that makes, and that they're able to get their message out, that they're open and they're providing these unique things. And so that just really drives us to continue.
Yes. Well, it's so important to shine a spotlight. I mean, that we're doing that in our way, but it's so important as you guys are doing that to give our businesses that airtime in print. And I loved one of those photos. It said print ain't dead.
That's so grammatically incorrect. But
yes. So, Dipali, I know sitting right behind you is some art, because not only are you a business owner, but is she frozen? Oh, Dipali is frozen. Okay. Well, actually, what about this? Crystal, I know you've got something from Make Expression that we didn't know until we were discussing. Yeah. Why don't you show it?
I've got it right here. Yeah. Okay, so this is funny. We did a team building at Make Expression a while ago, and I am not great, but I thought this turned out really nice, which is a testament to them because they help you. So this was one of the things on the shelves, and it is so bizarre and random, but I thought this would make a great business card holder. So this is Marge the shark.
That is so awesome. Oh, I think she's on. Oh, I think she's frozen again. But well, Tammy, Crystal, it's really cool.
Thank you. You can hear the picture of the shark because I think I see you. But
yes,
so we can
let's show that. Yes, there it is.
Anyway, I was telling her how much we enjoyed. We did our team building at Make Expression, and we had such a great time. And it's just a nice place to get creative and unwind, and we really enjoyed it.
Yes. Yeah. No,
Oh,
I
that
thought
looks
that was really
good.
cool.
Oh, you saw it. Thank you.
Yeah, I did.
Dipali, so you're back. I wanted to ask you a bit about the art that's actually behind you, because you are a business owner, but you are at heart an artist. So can you tell us, especially the large piece behind you?
Yeah, definitely. So this, the one you see over here, that one when I was cutting glass, I get a lot of scrap pieces. So I don't feel like I can throw it away and waste it. So I said, okay, let me make something out of it. So I put together everything and try to make it something abstract kind of art. So that's what I did over here to make the art piece with the glass.
I love it. Wow. It's beautiful. And is it all, is it all one piece? Like, is it, it almost looks like it's like in small pieces up on your wall, but is it one actual large, if you took it off the wall, it's one big thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a one big
It's
thing.
gorgeous.
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
The technical term.
Yeah. And also I have something from our studio over here. I have this cute popcorn holder. So you can
Oh, that's
eat
cute.
popcorn in here. Yeah. And then this emoji bank. So this is something simple. Everyone can do it. There's nothing hard in here. Also, you can make a candle over here. So this is our candle making, and you can make your own scented candle. This is
Beautiful.
something you can make it for a dad. So it says dad's
Oh, yeah.
juice. Yeah. So Father's Day is coming up. So think about it. This one I did mosaic. So this is something I created with the mosaic. It's on the wood piece, and you cut the glass
Wow.
and you make a beautiful design on the wood. So you can do
That is
something like this at the
beautiful.
studio. Um, and then this is our glass fusing. So this one, what you do is there's a powder glass over here. So you just glue it on, and when we fuse it in the kiln, it all fuse it inside the glass. So it's very smooth and nice, and you can hang it to your wall. You can use it as a cheese platter. You can use it for anything you want. So it looks really beautiful, and
Wow,
it's
that
very
is
simple
amazing.
to make it. Right. And then we do something in the camps where we take a canvas and then we put some mosaic pieces on top. These are all the seashells, and you make a mixed media project. So you do a lot of
Mm-hmm.
different things in the camp. Also, we did this one with the yarn and rocks and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, fun. That is, I love this. So we have a question from Lori. She's asking, how do we order to-go kits?
Okay, so to go kits, we have online, so you can go to makeexpression.com, and you just go to art to go, and you can see everything over there. So you can
Wonderful,
order, and
wonderful.
then once your order is received, we will send you a text saying that your order will be ready on so and so date and time.
Heather Canterbury says, Make Expression and Community Impact are two major partners of Frisco Fast Packs. I know, Dolly, you helped out Frisco Facts with their bowl, their empty bowls. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So, Empty Bowls is a lot of fun. It's a fun event. We see a lot of kids, adults. They all come as a family, and they paint really beautiful bowls. We do about 200 bowls for Frisco Pack.
Wow.
And then we also do it for McKinney Empty Bowl event. So we do it for Frisco Fast Pack. We do it for McKinney Empty Bowl. So we do empty bowl events for a lot of organization, and I love to
Wonderful.
see all the smile on their face, and they are so creative. All of them are so creative. I love to see all the bowls when they painted, and it is fun.
That's
Can I
so
add
great.
to? Sorry,
Yes,
Tammy,
of
I don't mean
course.
to cut you off.
No,
But
no, go
also,
ahead.
I know that they are taking donations right now as they've been feeding kids who are out of school, and they have an Amazon wish list set up, and I am not very technologically savvy, but I was able to get on there, and you can make an order, and it will deliver straight to Fastpacks. So I think that if anybody has the ability, that's an easy thing to do. And I know that they're looking for, I believe, noodles right now. They have a campaign going. So if you get on their Amazon wish list, it's really easy.
Yes. Well, that's what I love about, all of our local businesses helping our community to get through this crisis, and especially Heather. Shout out to Heather and what she does with Frisco Fast Packs. I mean, it's been nonstop for her. So, and Crystal, you are volunteering as well, and you're on the boards of Visit Frisco, the Frisco Education Foundation, and the chair of the chamber this year. Plus, you manage your husband's 80s band, Mr. Tonight, your family and work. So, what is your secret? How do you balance it all?
Oh man, I don't know. It's like spinning plates sometimes, but I think some days better than others, but I think it's important to be an example to your kids. And it's been interesting. I don't know if you felt this. Oh yeah. So there's Mr. Tonight. That's Michael's band. Um, But I think, Tammy, as a mother, I'm sure you feel this too. You want to be an example to your children of how to balance it and still be a good, mom and family person as well. And it's been interesting during the time staying home to get a chance to reconnect as a family and sort of strip away some of
Right.
the distractions and refocus. And so, I think that'll be interesting going forward to look at how we balance our family time and make sure we're doing it all, but in a way that isn't at the expense of our family time. But I think it's so important
Right.
to show your kids the importance of giving back to the community, and they love it. They love going to 5Ks. They love going to community events and seeing all that happen. And I think it helps them feel more connected to where they live too, which is
Right.
important.
Right. Definitely. Well, DePolly, I know you've got your family as well, and like I said, we found out you have a senior, so we
Mhm.
definitely give our well wishes to the seniors, and to hear that graduation is going to happen in some form or fashion. But
Right.
you have a lot to balance as well. What is your secret to doing everything?
So my secret, there's no secret actually. Mom, it comes from the heart, and you try to manage. You figure out how to manage yourself between business and home and kids. So um, I just studio. So what I try to do is I go during the morning time when they are in the school, and then I come home by the time they come home. So then I can try to spend time with them and try to manage with them and have fun time with them. So I try to
Yes.
balance all together.
It's definitely a balancing act, and I've heard a lot of women say, it's just not going to be perfect, but we just have to accept that. But we're just
Yes.
doing the
Right.
best we can,
Well,
and that's all we can do.
Well, you know what else too? I think sometimes it would be nice if we could see ourselves through our kids' eyes, because I think we're so hard on ourselves. And anytime you laying in bed at night talking with the kids, I like to lay with them, right before they go to sleep and ask about their day. And every day is a wonderful day to them. And the things that I was so hard about myself, so hard on myself about, they don't even see it that way. And so I think
Hmm.
sometimes we put the pressure on ourselves more than what they're actually seeing.
That's very true. No, that's very, very true. Well, and I also heard something about how, especially for the younger ones, when they look back or when they're asked about quarantine, they will say it was the best time of my life. Everybody was home, it was family dinners. We went out all the time together as a family. So it does make you think a lot about, how we're handling it and what we want to keep, even though it's been a tough time. So
Yeah,
we're going to shift
that's right.
Yeah.
shift shift gears to my last couple questions that I like to ask our panelists. So first, what would your current self tell your younger self, and why? So Crystal, let's start with you on that one.
Oh, Tammy, that's a hard one. My current self would tell my younger self to take it easy, but I'm still telling myself that today. So I don't know if I fully learned that. But I think I've always been extremely hard on myself and hold myself to a very high standard, and I overanalyze everything. And so I'm still working on that. But I'd like to be a little kinder to myself as a younger person and today. So working on it, work in
Hmm.
progress.
Yes, yeah, no, we all are. We all are. Dipali, how about you? What would your current self tell your younger self, and why?
So my current self tells to younger self that I did my business degree, and I did all kinds of different things for past 20 years when I should be doing art. That was my passion. So I would tell my younger self that just follow your passion and do what you want to do, and you will make it work somehow. And I would definitely give credit to my husband that he helped me follow my passion in art.
Yes, yes, we definitely always have to have that support. And then
Right.
I'll ask you the question too. What is the best advice that you ever received?
So the best advice I received from a lot of people, and I'm very fortunate about that. But I have to give credit to my husband again. He's going to have a big head now, but he, he's the one who told me you do better, but keep doing better and better, and you will grow into your life. There is no end about learning, so you keep learning. And if you think that you've done everything, you still have a lot of room to improve yourself, and you keep doing better and better. So now I'm at that point that now I think about myself that I have to do better, and you I have to keep growing and growing, and keep doing better and better.
I love that. Yes. Crystal, how about you? What is the best advice you've ever received?
I think one of my favorites is you can't go wrong doing the right thing because it applies in so many different settings. And sometimes you have to make tough decisions in business, but if you are keeping at mind what the right thing to do is, whether it be for the people on your team or clients, you may have to make a business decision that isn't financially the best, but if it's the right thing, then you will be rewarded down the line. And there are so many circumstances where that applies.
Wonderful. Yes. And, it's not easy always to do that. And sometimes there's other sacrifices, but it's always, like you're saying, it's worth it. It's the right thing. And a question that I do like to ask, because we are arts advocacy, is why are the arts important to you? So, Dipali, it might be obvious, but still, tell us why the arts are important to you.
So art is important to me because it is very therapeutic. Art is something which I can do for hours and hours, and it relaxes me. And it is for a lot of people. I have seen it at Make Expression too. That people come in and they say that it relaxes me. It's a way to relieve my stress. So art is very therapeutic to me, and that when I do art, it just relieves my stress, and I come up with cool things, and I mixed all the different mediums and just make it something cool.
No, I love that. I think there's so much research about art and health, mental health. So I know for me, the kids ask, "What do you want for Mother's Day?" And I'm like, "I need you all to leave the house so I can be alone with my piano for 2 hours. That's all I want. I'll put a tip jar out. You can give me money if you want, but I need that time. I need that creative, stress reliever. So I'm 100% with you on that." Crystal, how about you? Why are the arts important to you?
Well, I think that arts are so central in everything we do. And sometimes we forget to identify it as art, but it really is. And so obviously, art and always has been, but I think even professionally, I think storytelling is art. And, obviously putting together infographics and conceptualizing that is art. And it's one of my favorite things about our job that we get to figure out how to take a story and make the different elements come together, which I think is a artistic outlet for me. But I do think it's important to remember that in so many of our businesses, you may not feel like you're an artistic person, but you do have art intertwined in your business in ways that you may not even realize on the surface.
Yes, that's a great message. And that is very, very true. I mean, art takes many, many different forms, and people think art might just be music or dance or visual art. But like you said, art of storytelling and those infographics, those are works of art as well. And everything has to do with communicating. So you're both in the arts. I appreciate the work that you do for our community. And it's been such a fun hour getting to know both of you, and thanks for being here today as our panelists.
Yeah, thank you, Tammy.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Of course. And you can find Make Expression at makeexpression.com, and you'll be, getting your community impact newspaper in your mailboxes, and make sure you send a nice note to encourage all those folks that are working hard to get the information to you. And this is ladies who launched once again, we were virtual. We were hoping to meet in person for Cinco de Mayo and Taco Tuesday, but we miss you very, very much. We are going to have another ladies who launch. We're putting in these bonus ones because we can't. All I have to do is show up here and get my guests. So we have one coming up in 2 weeks on the 19th, I believe, and then we will be taking a break for the summer. But there will be some other coming, so stay tuned for that. Socially, and quick reminder, if you joined us today and want to help support Frisco Arts and keep the arts alive in Frisco, please visit our website at friscoarts.org to see what we've been doing these last 6 weeks to keep the voice strong going in Frisco, and what you can do with us for the future. So until then, I hope you all have a wonderful, beautiful, enjoyable day out. Enjoy those tacos, and we'll see you next time.